Hey everybody, Greg and Rachel Denning here with Fantastic Family Fridays to help you build a fantastic family culture and just live that exciting, wonderful life that you can live as a family. I guess got to share, I've been thinking so much about it lately. Family life is such a wonderful life, and there's so many opportunities and so much richness, so much greatness. Life is awesome. It really is. We're just having such a great time here in Costa Rica with our 6 kids. Life is awesome. So we need to really make sure that family's a top priority. We're doing everything we can. And today we're excited, super excited. This is going to be awesome. And I know I say that every week, but this is great stuff. And we're going to cover some phenomenal stuff that now starts to fit into the big picture that we talked about last week.
Yeah, so last week we discussed the big picture, okay? And if you don't know what the big picture is, and you don't have the big picture, go back and watch last week's episode because it's so critical. We talked about how important it is. Nothing else that we're going to be talking about in the coming weeks matters unless you understand why they are important and where they're fitting into this big picture, okay? So it's so critical that you understand what that big picture is. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let you go back and watch it so you get the full thing, you get the full understanding of what it is. But so now today, and starting from here on out, we're going to be plugging in the puzzle pieces, right? Putting them together so that we can create that entire big picture, but it's one piece at a time. That's how it works. And so today we're starting with one of the most important pieces. They're all important, obviously. They're all important. But one of the most important pieces we're starting with today, and it is...
Woohoo! Are you excited? I'm excited. I've been doing this for 17 years. This is the make or break it. This is huge. This is
so important that he wrote an entire audio program.
Yeah, I created a whole course on this. Okay, it's called How to Totally Transform Your Life Before Breakfast. And so what we're going to talk about today is the morning routine, or what we like to call, and other people like to call, the morning ritual. It's so important. Now, everybody has a morning routine. Everybody has a morning ritual, whether they're cognizant about it or not. They do it. We all have these little habits, these little things we do. And a lot of people they get up late, the alarm goes off, they're kind of rushing this way, they're not centered, they're not focused, they're just
I'm sure you can totally relate. Most moms and dads, they go to bed late because they're getting stuff done, they got to finish up these projects, that project. Then you get up in the morning barely in time to get ready for work or to get the kids off to school, or countless other things. So from the moment you get up, you're just go, go, go. There's no time to really anchor yourself, to really center on what matters, to really get in the right mindset in order to have appropriate and helpful interactions with your children or with your spouse. That's the power of the morning ritual, creating that space and that time where you can focus on centering yourself, focus on personal improvement, because as you improve yourself, as you become the best that you can be, it's only natural that you're going to be a better spouse, you're going to be a better mother or father, you're going to be a better worker. It's just going to affect every part of your life. And so it's so crucial, so critical to have this space, particularly in the morning. Some people say, well, couldn't I do it anytime? Couldn't I do it before bed? You could, but then you're going to sleep. You might as well get up in the morning and get in that mindset starting out so it carries through the day. I have
to bite my tongue here because, oh my God, I love this. And she's right on. It's the rudder. It's the way you set your sails. It determines your days. And I've said it so many times. The way we live our days is the way we live our life. And like Rich said, doing great things, you can do them all the time. Do them throughout the day. Do them at the end of the day. All these routines, and we'll talk more about that. But we've got to start the day out right, because the way you start it is, for the most part, determines how it goes. And this is huge. This is that determining factor from, so many people are like, well, I'm so busy. I'm so, so stressed out,
It's just
so much
everyone.
going. Everybody, yeah, we're just pulled in so many different directions. We just can't get it all done, and like there's not enough hours in the day. You know what I'm talking about? you you just got this list of stuff and you never get through it. This is what puts your priorities. It's what puts first things first. And literally, this small habit will make the biggest difference in your days and in your life. And this is what will establish you and establish leadership in the home and set your whole family on a course to fantasticness. That's awesome.
A new word. And you know what? The truth of it is, for pretty much anyone who wants to implement the morning routine, you're going to have to get up earlier. That's the only way to do it. You have to get up earlier than you currently are, and that's a struggle, especially in the beginning. But you have to do it if you want to reap the benefits that come from this incredible routine.
So
and seriously,
worth it.
The people that we've talked to, friends we've had, people we've mentored, different things like that, that we've told them, hey, you should implement this morning routine. Those who have done it, even those who like literally have gone from, they get up at 7 or 8 to now they're getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, that's a huge change. That's a big difference, okay? And do you know what they say?
They love it.
It's worth it.
Yep.
They're like, wow, I am so amazed at the difference it makes.
I get
Seriously.
so much done. I feel so much better. I've hit my priorities. By the time the kids wake up, booyah! I'm done the most important things already. And these are people that we've mentored. And 8 o'clock hurts. They're just like, "Grr." And I say, hey, let's go to 6. Oh no, 6 o'clock. Only the birds are up that early. And we keep working them 5 and then 4. And they're doing it. Because that's how you get it done. And that's the number I came up with. I ended up at 4 because, I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up time with my family. And I still want to do work that I love and that's important. And I still want to serve and be in leadership. And I still want to exercise and play. And I want to live life. And so I'm like, if I want to get more of the most important things done, then I've got to get up earlier. And it works. Oh, it's fantastic. Let's go with some foundational questions. I'll just throw these out there. These are some big thinkers, right? To get you going, oh, okay, yeah, what can I do? And then we'll get into some steps ingredients, we can call them, in your morning ritual.
Well, and before that, I would like to mention, because of the time and place where I am in my life, there are times and seasons to this thing, There needs to be a regular, consistent morning routine, but it can change. You may not always get up at 4 a.m. You may not do that. There has been...
Sometimes you have to get up at 4:30.
There's been a lot of times where I have gotten up at 4 a.m. with Greg throughout our married life. We started out in marriage like that, okay? We both would get up at 4 a.m. together and study and read, and it was awesome before we had any children. And then throughout our married life, I have done that, except at, like, right now where I am in life, I have a new baby. And so my routine has switched temporarily where I stay up later and get up later, okay? So there are times and seasons, but I still am maintaining a certain routine, a certain ritual where I'm reading certain things or I'm doing, there's this list that okay, this is what I do in my morning routine. You still implement it. You just need to make sure that it's fitting in with your family life and that it's also accomplishing the point of having the morning routine. The morning routine is there to help, again, with your mindset, to get you in the right mood to meet the day and handle its challenges. So that's just the side note.
The thoughts you pick. Like I saw this thing on Facebook says, flowers. The flowers you pick first in the morning, you stay freshest. And same with your thoughts. Pick your thoughts right in the morning.
That was a quote that I put on Facebook. I made it.
Yeah, awesome. You just got to get your thoughts right. You got to get centered. You got to get going. You got to get your whole life in the place where you want it to be. You and like Ray said, if you get up a little later, you make sure you get these ingredients in all the time. So there's that balance. There's a balance of self-mastery, self-discipline, making it happen, and then understanding. We don't want to use an excuse, but we also don't want to do more than we're able to. So there's a balance there, but push yourself. Okay, I'm on the side. I'm going to say push yourself. Go harder. And do more.
And I would say, having done both, I've been on both spectrums. I've been the night owl, and I've gotten up at 4 a.m. And there's benefits to both. You know, obviously on one side, it's easier to stay up later than it is to get yourself out of bed in the morning. But there's a certain power that comes from the early morning. Not that you've stayed up all night early morning, but the early morning you've gone to bed, you're rested, you get up and start the day with great literature, great ideas. There's a power in that. And so, you know, I have to testify to that as well, that when I can, I like to be on that schedule. I prefer that schedule. But if I can't, you know, I still do what is in my power.
And she's a natural night owl. I know lots of night owls that they when they do the morning routine, there's power there. There's something special about it. It's quite uninterrupted.
So we encourage you, I guess my point is, we encourage you to do as early as you can, because there is a
Even
power there.
earlier than you can.
Even earlier.
Okay, so let's hit some of those fundamental questions. Big ones. How am I going to draw closer to God today? Right? How am I going to nourish and feed my spirit? And these are things you start thinking through, and these are the big questions and part of the big vision we talked about. And how does that fit into actually what you do in your morning routine, right? How am I going to be a fantastic dad today? Right? How am I going to support my spouse? How am I going to be a better spouse today? How am I going to take care of my body? It's so important to have your body in a great condition. How am I going to take care of my body today? Okay? And then what great work am I going to do today? What contribution? How are we going to build the education? I mean, all these big questions, and you start fitting those into your morning ritual, and you're working on each of those every day in the right order. You're setting your priorities straight. Man, you just start making, it's like rocket fuel. I mean, big things start happening in your life in a short time. So I guess let's start what we do. First thing, from the studies, you've got to get water. Okay? And you're like, oh, what? I'm dead serious. Your body is thirsty after sleeping through the night. Go and drink at least 16 ounces of water. Okay? Super important. And you're like, oh, that's weird. I'm dead serious. Most people are way dehydrated. And when you wake up through the night, you're dehydrated. And it's proven. I mean, studies show that it'll increase your metabolism. It gets your body going. Your body's mostly water. Get some water back in there and, okay, get going. Right?
It helps with your brain functioning as well, and not to be weird or gross, it helps to clean you out, literally. Like, you get up in the morning, you drink some water, it's going to help flush out your system and get out
toxins.
All the toxins that are in your body. So, yeah.
So get some water. Then run to the bathroom. Or run to the bathroom, then get some water. Okay, then we start our day with, I start mine with prayer and meditation. And you can spend the amount of time that's appropriate for you. It really gets your mind set and bring God into your routine and your day. You start with Him. And then I go right into Scripture study. Study from the Scriptures. It's so important to get spiritual ideas and the wisdom of the ages and of the eternities and the power from heaven. I mean, input determines output. You get those things in your mind, and boy, it just has this amazing power just to settle you down. Big time perspective. I mean, you might wake up, oh, I got this problem, I have to deal with this. You get in there and just go, oh, okay, let's get this right. And learn how to study and dig and understand and make those words your own. So they're written on your heart. Okay, wow, what a change. And it'll soften you, and then when your kid comes in and just makes a mess or whatever, you're just like, okay, no big deal.
Well, and I would like to throw in as kind of a little side note here before we continue on, is that what we're really doing here is we're having a time and a place to help you accomplish bigger goals. Because ultimately, if you have a big goal, you have to break it down into some type of chunk that you can fit into your day. And so that's what we're doing. And this is a good place to do that. So, and then even if you have something, you have a specific goal about you want to read whatever, a book of scripture, or you want to read the Quran, or you want to read, whatever it is, the Tao.
The Bhagavad Gita. That is good.
Here's the time and place where you can fit it into your routine, and maybe you spend 15 minutes, a half hour, whatever, where you can read this piece of literature that you want to, and it's helping you to reach that goal. And, this doesn't have to apply this applies to all sorts of things, you know, personal development literature, which we're gonna talk all about all of this later, but just wanted to point this out, that this is the time and place to put in the chunk for achieving these bigger goals.
Exactly. Yeah. You break it down to bite-sized bits, and you get it in each day, and it adds up so quickly. So first, spiritual alignment, getting yourself centered, bringing God into your life, putting Him first. And I've found in my life, through my whole life, putting Him first, you get the blessings of heaven, and you get moving in the right direction. Next, I kind of either go from reading great stuff or writing, and it kind of depends on how I'm feeling. I might go right into writing, and then do some reading, or reading and writing. And so we have a list of books, and one of our elements will be books. We'll talk about that. We got a never-ending list of books we read from, and this can be history. It can be personal development. A great thing to do is say, what do I want to work on? Whatever you want to really focus on improving, pick books in that field.
Yeah, I will, set aside part of this time for studying parenting books or education books or, again, anything I'm interested in learning. This is the time and place, because we're so busy. I mean, seriously, we're so busy. We're like, how do I have time to read whatever, a book on parenting or anything at all? This is the place. You put it in, and it's 15 minutes. It's a half hour. And suddenly now you're reading books and you're getting them done, and you're growing, you're progressing, which is the whole point.
Exactly. It starts to change you. This is also the place where you fit in if you want to improve in your business as an entrepreneur, a business worker, an employee, whatever field you want to choose. This is where you stick that in. And if I guarantee you, I promise you, you study every day in your field of choice, you'll become an expert. You'll know it backwards and forward. You'll become great at it, because input determines output. You're planting those seeds. It just has this incredible effect on your life. I think there's an idea here. Let's just throw this out. I was throwing around some numbers. I think I have over 23,000 hours of studying outside of university and formal education. And so let's say that there's a base there. Let's say 20,000 hours is a foundational base for an education. 20,000 hours. I mean, if you put in 15 minutes a day, how long is it going to take you? I mean, I can't even do the math on that. That's a long time. And if you only read, once a week, it's going to take forever. So that's why you do a little bit of each day. If you can squeeze in an hour a day of good study, think about that. Wow. 2 hours, and then you fit in bits and pieces here during the day, 10 minutes here, in traffic here, at the office here, whatever. I mean, if you can squeeze that in, you get an hour or two a day, 3 hours a day of improvement, of growth, of learning. Whoa! Okay, it's huge. I mentioned writing. We both write tons. You want to do writing?
You do writing.
I got writing.
You got writing.
Okay, there's another book. It's called Accidental Genius. Get it, read it, study it. It's all about writing. There is so much power in writing, and I abhorred writing, and honestly, I still don't like. I prefer to speak or record or whatever, but I write because there's power in writing. Something magical happens inside your mind and your body and your soul when you write. So capture great ideas, capture your failures, capture your successes, capture great experiences, I got thousands. I literally have thousands of pages in my files of ideas that I'm developing and working on and writing about. And so capture greatness. The brain is processing. It's not an idea bank. It was never intended to store all that information because we forget it. So get it in writing.
So yeah, as you're reading through these great books and things in the morning, now here's the perfect time to not only write down what you're reading, but your own thoughts, your own inspirations, your own, and ideas can come to you. Maybe you're having a challenge with one of your children and you're reading a parenting book or scriptures or any other book, and you think, oh wow, this would work perfectly with this situation. Write down those thoughts and inspirations. You can type it out. You could write it in a journal, whatever works best for you. But it's a great place and time to really get personalized attention on these areas in your life where you're trying to improve and where you need help. This is where the answers come. Because again, the power of the morning routine. If you just get up and get going in the day, then you get back into the same habits, the same irritable responses, the same yelling, the same arguing. It just repeats itself over and over. And there's no end to it. But when you have this space where you can reflect and receive inspiration and guidance, it changes everything.
Yeah. You go into the day now to be a better spouse, a better parent, a better leader, a better worker. I mean, it literally affects how you go into the day. And so instead of just being a reaction now, you're going in intentionally, deliberately to be better. Oh man, this is huge. And again, we're jumping.
Which is why we're saying it again. We said this already.
We're jumping real fast. Again, if you want to take this seriously, that program's there. It's available, and it's good stuff. I cover them thoroughly. It's so important. I guess that's the writing, capturing these ideas is a good lead into the next thing. It's about affirmations and quotes, the things we say to ourselves. There's a fancy word called endophagia, and basically it's just your self-talk. It's what you believe. It's what you say to yourself. And I invite you to take a good inventory. When a challenge comes up, how do you say, oh, here we go again, just my luck. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, that'll never happen to me. Oh, that's just for them. We have all these beliefs. Or when something hard comes up, you say, bring it. I got this. I can handle this. No big deal. What do you say to yourself? We write quotes and we have them all over our house, in front of our desk, in our car, wherever. We have great ideas and we think great thoughts every morning.
One of the quotes I have, it says, what you think is more important than anything else in your life. It's more important than your circumstances, than your assets, and than your relationships, than anything. It's what you think. It all comes down to that.
And so you have to shape your thoughts. That's how the morning routine does. Shapes your thoughts, which shape your desires, your emotions, your actions, everything. Oh, we're humming through this. There's so much good stuff. Next, you want to focus on your goals. So here's a simple challenge. If you do nothing else, please do this. Get up in the morning, write down 3 to 5 specific things you're grateful for that morning, and don't write down the same things. Be specific for the day. Get an attitude of gratitude. Set your mind in the right place. 3 to 5 things you're grateful for, and 3 to 5 things you're going to work on that day. Write them down. Again, what a great way to focus on building your dreams and going after your goals. They're constantly in front of you. Every morning you get up and say, these are the most important things I want to work on today. Whoa! This sets you in the right direction. It's having that GPS with the details saying, this is where I'm going.
Brian Tracy, who is one of the biggest business leaders and authors and speakers, says that he never ever, well, I guess not never, he always works from a list. He never starts the day unless he has a list of the most important things that he needs to get done that day. And he works from that list. And if you do that, you make sure you get the most important things done, one of which is having the morning routine. And then you feel good because no matter what else happens, you got the most important things done. And even if the most important things are hold the baby all day long today, that's okay. Put it on the list.
But honestly, you come out of that, and everyone I've encouraged and taught to do this, they come out of it with power. And they tell me that. They're like, yeah, man, it's only 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm ready to go. I'm energized. I'm alive. I'm focused. I've hit the most important things. I'm ready to conquer anything that comes my way. And these are people that were dragging their butts out of bed at 7:30 or 8 and just, hoping they make it to work and get through the day. And now they're empowered. It's awesome. I guess the last thing we'll hit before we end up is you got to exercise. You got to get your body moving. We really have become a very sedentary society and world right now. It's the information age, and so a lot of us just sitting at a desk and computer. You got to get that body moving, get the blood flowing, and incredible things happen in the body with endorphins and dopamines and serotonin and all this mix of good healthy food in the morning. Stop eating crap and get good healthy food, get your body moving, get the blood pumping. The idea is your mind's clearer, more active, you feel energized. But you're like, I don't have enough energy, I'm just dragging through the day. And I know it seems ironic, it seems counterintuitive. exercise actually will give you more energy once you've established that habit. So take care of your body. If you got some extra weight to drop, what a great way to do it. Each day, a little exercise, some good eating, and you're setting your whole life, all these great priorities in order.
Well, yeah, speaking of the dopamines again, I mean, those are the chemicals in your brain that actually help you to be happy. That's what makes you feel happy.
And attentive.
Yeah, so, doing that, moving your body, exercise that's helping you to be happy, and that's what we want. We want to be happy because choosing happiness and doing things on purpose that produce happiness, because happiness isn't just something that's, just happens to you. You make conscious choices. You can take deliberate action to make it happen. Happiness is what we want, and it's what helps our days to go better. So again.
And you guys, that's what it's all about. It's all about having wonderful, happy families. It really is. And all these little elements put together into the big picture just bring a fantastic family. That's what it's all about. One last thought. You've got to be consistent. I always say consistency is the bridge that spans the gulf between mediocrity and greatness. So do this. Discipline yourself. Self-mastery, self-discipline. Make it happen until it becomes a habit. Then it becomes a lifestyle. And then you just do it automatically and you love it and you don't miss. I mean, 17 years I've been doing this. My body just wakes up and I just do it.
It becomes easier with practice, of course. And, Greg says self-discipline, self-mastery, but that's not in a way of torturing yourself, whip yourself out of bed type thing.
Unless you have to.
I think, so maybe for me, it's powerful and easier to do these things when I remember why. What did you feel while you were watching this? What did you think? What did you realize? What aha did you have? Keep that in your mind. And so in the morning when it comes time to wake up, don't think, oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to get up. Think, this is what I want. I want to have this experience. I want to have this feeling. I want to have, whatever it was, go back to that vision, and that motivates you there. Because when you think of those types of things, it motivates you to take action no matter how difficult it is.
Absolutely.
Unless you accidentally fall back asleep.
Set a second alarm. Yeah, set a second alarm.
Set the second alarm as a safety.
Just make it happen.
But keep that vision there. That, and that eliminates this kind of abusive whipping idea of self-discipline that is so unpleasant to us. It's not about that. It's about having this vision and working towards it because it's what you want, really.
Yeah.
It's what you want more than sleeping.
And this will make it happen. This one element will help you get what you want most in life, perhaps more than any other thing. I mean, it's that powerful. So if you know people that would benefit from this, share this video. We want to hear your success stories. Maybe you have other morning elements in your ritual that help you. Please share those with us. And share your successes. Leave it in the comments
on the bottom of the post where I'm going to be posting this. And if you want more about this, because this can go into more detail, get the Greg's totally... What is it?
How to totally transform your life before breakfast. And there's a ton there. It's well worth it. It's awesome. And guys, go out this week. Let's do this. Let's start this week. Start now and get going. Make this happen and put this into your life now. This is now one of the elements of our fantastic family. This is what we do. And man, we didn't even talk about getting your children to do it.
Okay, next time.
Next time, because we've got our kids doing it. They know when they get up, they have their morning routines. They know what to do first and second and third, and they just get up and they start doing it. And we just keep reminding the little ones until they're older, and the older ones know. They get up and they just do it. So go after it this week. Let's create our fantastic family culture by implementing a wonderful and powerful morning ritual.